Welcome to Midnights with the Lizard Wizard, a podcast where Yael Midnight and I, Noel Midnight, listen through the entire King Gizzard discography from start to finish. This week, we're listening to King Gizzard's 14th studio album, 2019's boogie record, Fishin' For Fishies. Theme music recorded by Beautiful Trainwreck. And we're back. Yael, we just had a unique experience within our Giz listening adventure so far.
Yeah, very interesting experience, I would say.
So, for Fishing with Fishies...
Fishing for Fishies.
We have to restart the whole episode now. During Fishing for Fishies release cycle, they released a few singles ahead of the record.
Yeah, we got the singles Fishing for Fishies, Cyboogie. Cyboogie was the first single that they released off of this album, and also Planet B. But Planet B isn't on Fishing for Fishies?
No, and honestly...
None of these three songs sound very similar.
What we just did was, after having listened to Fishing for the past 2 weeks, and really getting invested in the album and diving in deep with it.
Internalizing it.
Yeah, we decided, hey, it's in the spirit of the show to also listen to the other music that was released at the same time, which would be Planet B. And
yeah, because everybody who was following the band back in 2019 got to hear Cyboogie and Fishing for Fishies and Planet B before they heard the rest of the Fishing for Fishies album. And so they had to wonder, okay, how are these three songs all gonna fit on the same record?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Having just heard Planet B literally less than 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, we did not listen to it until the very moment before Noel started recording.
And if I got those three singles, Fishing for Fishies feels like, okay, we're getting the boogie record. Cyboogie feels like, okay, we're getting an electronic synths record. And
although the Cyboogie is still a boogie.
And Planet B is, okay, we're getting thrash metal.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me that goes, what album are you teasing right now? Because it's not a coherent one.
It's definitely not a coherent record. You can make the through line between Fishing for Fishies and Cyboogie, and we'll talk about whether we think that they succeeded at making a through line between Fishing for Fishies.
They certainly attempted to make a through line between Fishing for Fishies and Cyboogie. That is true.
The first song of the album and the last song of the album. I really want to be in the position of somebody listening to these three singles for the first time in 2019 and not knowing what they were going to get and just wondering what they must have been thinking. As much as we try to get that original experience, it's just not possible anymore.
Right.
At least not for us.
There's only so much that we can do realistically.
We've gotten too involved in the band. We've gotten too involved.
We can't go back in time to the point where we can go, okay, so this, and this are technically, specifically what we would know, and here's everything that we would know at that moment. Here's everything that we would know if we were scouring Discord and Reddit and keeping up with every PDoom newsletter. And
well, not at that point. It would have still been Gizmail.
Gizmail.
But yeah, right. When we do our research now, we end up with at least minor spoilers.
Right. There's no way around that. For example, we just watched the video How to Gut a Fishy, which is a behind-the-scenes video for Fishing for Fishies. And you know how that video ends?
How does that video end?
With the dripping fucking tap.
Oh, shit. I should go back and watch that again.
So there's no way to avoid spoilers.
We do our best.
We do our best.
So, are you excited for Rat's Nest now?
I mean, it's certainly thrash metal. And it certainly gives. Like, I don't know what else you could want. We were promised those things, and it looks like we're getting those things. So I guess, yeah, I'm excited. They're delivering on the promise.
I want to see what that album does. But we do have, the album that we set out to talk about today.
I'll just say this about Planet B.
Yeah, please.
It really clarifies where the Great Chain of Being came from.
Okay. I don't think they sound very similar.
Vocally?
Sure.
They're in the same place.
Okay, vocally, yeah. Vocally, I see the connection, the way that it's sung.
Yeah.
The rest of it is pretty different.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we had that kind of double kick on the Great Chain of Being.
No, not quite. But as far as the vocal style, I just got to say, Stu, I'll let you sung.
Oh, come on. Really?
Let's dive into Fishing for Fishies. This is the band's, 13th studio record?
14th.
14th studio record, and it's our boogie rock, bluesy, jammy. Like, this is the first album that I think I would call jammy outside of maybe Quarters?
Strongly disagree. I don't think it's jammy at all.
Oh, there's some jammy moments.
I strongly disagree.
Okay, well, we'll argue about that later.
This is very much just a songs album.
But, like, the ending of the title track is a jam.
I don't agree.
They're just
what do you
going
think
aimless and directionless for a full minute and a half at the end of the song.
I don't agree. I don't think that's what's happening. I don't know. I feel like that's an aimless comment.
I took notes the first time I was listening, and I wrote down, oh, there's this fun harmonica thing that's going right into the end before the keyboard break. And then I went, oh, wait, shit, that wasn't the end of the song at all. It's just got a big fucking jam at the end. And, like, it does. It's just, it's jammy.
No, they're it's not jammy. Like, I don't know. I don't have any, like, creative or interesting things to say about that. I just don't agree.
Well, that's okay. You can be wrong.
It's not a jammy record.
It's jammy enough.
I could use more jam. I could use any jam. This is an album of songs, tight, very, very written songs.
Right. Yeah, it's an album of tightly written songs that somehow all managed to be 2 minutes longer than they needed to be if they were just songs.
Hey, that's just Akron.
It's not just Akron.
That's just Akron.
It's not. Fishing for Fishies is the same way.
I do not agree.
Anyway, Fishing for Fishies, it's the first song on the record. Right away we get what sounds like a failed drum part that's restarting. And
yeah,
then,
this isn't the first time they've done the false start to begin a record. We saw that on Sketches of Brunswick East, notably. I'm sure we've seen that other times as well.
Yeah.
That's where I noticed it.
And then the guitars come in, and you're just like, oh, I get it. We're listening to their country record.
I would really like, before we dive into it track by track, to talk about the album as a whole, though.
Oh, we can do that if you'd like.
I would. I have things to say.
Okay, tell me about the album as a whole.
So this is, like you said, the 14th record. So we are midway through their career, at least this time of recording.
But don't worry, we're getting the Secret Giz techno record this month.
Uh-huh. And at this point, the band had taken over a year off of making music since Gumboot Soup, their last record.
No. They had taken a year off from releasing music.
Okay. They took a year off from releasing music after their 5-album run in 2017.
Uh-huh.
And they were trying to figure out what to do, and according to Ambi, they were deciding to try releasing a record based on each member's own music tastes. So they were going to rotate through the band, and each member of the band would have an album designed around their style.
I didn't realize that that's what was going on.
Well, that's why I didn't want to start with track by track.
Fine, okay, you're right and I'm wrong. Quite unlike the jam thing.
No, I'm right about that too. And so Ambi, who has written boogies for King Gizzard before, including Cutthroat Boogie off of 12 Bar Brews, and I believe, yes, he also wrote the Bitter Boogie off of Paper Mache Dream Balloon.
Which is a great song.
Oh, yeah, both of them are great. I fucking love Cutthroat Boogie.
I just don't remember it that well.
Well,
I need to
you should go back to it because that's a damn good song.
I keep meaning to go back and re-listen to Willoughby's and 12 Bar because I don't think I remember anything off of either of them.
Cutthroat Boogie is one of the high points,
like,
for sure.
I remember Footy Footy.
Footy Footy is not one of the high points.
No, but I do
It's
remember
fun.
it.
But Cutthroat Boogie is also just like really good.
I remember Sam Cherry's Last Shot.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. That one's pretty memorable.
I remember Elbow, and that's it. That's all I remember from those two records.
And all of them were 12 Bar Brews.
Yeah, I have no idea what's on Willoughby's Beach anymore. Is that where Dead Stick came from?
That's from Phantom Island.
No.
Dead Stick is a song on Phantom Island.
What am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
Neither does the listener. And this is good radio. Before we go much further,
For what it's worth, I have
ahead.
not listened to Phantom Island. I know nothing about Dead Stick other than it is the name of a song on Phantom Island, and that still took me a second to place. Again, it's hard to avoid at least some spoilers. But yeah, I've got absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Noah.
I was thinking about Deadbeat.
Okay. That makes more sense.
I was thinking about Deadbeat.
That makes more sense. So
Before we go much further, I want to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that it is May 3rd in Seattle, Washington, and we have our first 80-degree day. And we haven't set up our air conditioner yet, so it is hot as balls in the apartment. And I am sitting here through this entire show, fanning myself with my hands, going, "Dear God, let this end."
yeah, Noel's about as sweaty right now as Stu gets on stage.
I'm about as sweaty right now as Stu gets at the very, very, very beginning of the Fishing for Fishies music video.
We also have just an apartment that it's
got concrete walls.
It traps heat.
It's got concrete walls, and concrete traps heat. It just boils in here.
It is over 78 degrees Fahrenheit in the living room that we are recording in right now.
And even if we had the air conditioner hooked up, we couldn't fucking run it because we're recording.
So yeah, this is just going to be miserable for every recording that we do all summer long.
It's gonna be great. So if at any moment you go, kind of feels like they're podcasting through a fever dream, well, that's because we are.
That's how we feel.
Have you seen the movie Do the Right Thing? It's like that.
I have not, actually.
Yeah, neither have I.
So Ambi wanted to write an album of boogie songs, and he gets his music taste from his dad. We've talked about Broderick Smith on the show before.
Yep.
He wrote the script, I guess I would call it, for Eyes Like the Sky, and was the narrator on that album. He was also a member of a boogie rock band called Carson.
Okay.
And Ambi specifically called out when we were talking about Cutthroat Boogie back on 12 Bar Brews that particular song was based on a Carson song called just simply Boogie. So Ambi
I feel like that's a bold choice.
to
Naming
just
a
name your
song just Boogie.
Yeah.
Like, that really sets up expectations that you have to deliver on.
So Ambi comes by his love of boogie music, honestly.
Sure.
And they, I don't think, went anywhere with the one album per band member
Premise.
premise.
It's kind of like Sufjan's States project, where you get a couple states in and then you go, this isn't really sustainable.
So, like, I guess, our secret techno record that's coming, we could say that's Joey's record.
Sure, that's the Bull Ant record.
Right. I guess the thrash metal thing is some combination of Stu, Joey, and Calves.
Sure, but once you're throwing that many people in together,
Right, it
it's hard to
doesn't
say
really-
it's any one person's record.
Exactly. But this was very much the brainchild of Ambi. And that makes sense because we get not one, not two, but 3 songs with Boogie in the title.
Yep.
Several of the songs that don't have Boogie in the title are still Boogies.
Sure.
And we have 1, 2, 3, well, only 3 songs that are co-written by Ambi.
Only 3?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's just Fishing for Fishies, The Bird Song, and The Cruel Millennial.
Yeah, it feels like more, though, because it's every other song for the first 6 songs on the record.
Yeah, and even some of the ones that are not Ambi written are also still Boogies, and we get a lot of Ambi lyric or Ambi singing throughout.
Yeah. And not to mention the goddamned harmonica
And there's
that is
just
on
so
every track of this
much
record.
fucking harmonica. It's great.
If you listened to any record of Giz's, like Polygon Dwanaland, for example, and you thought, I wish there was a little bit more harmonica on that, whoo boy, do I have a record for you. And it's called Fishing for Fishies.
Yeah, 7 out of 9 tracks have harmonica.
Yeah, it feels like all 9, though. Like, I know there isn't any on Side Boogie, because Side Boogie's...
I bet you can figure out the one other track that doesn't have harmonica.
I'm assuming that it's either... I think it's Acheron.
It is not Acheron.
Is it this thing?
It is not this thing.
I could just keep guessing song titles, but that's not going to be fun for anybody.
It's The Bird Song.
Okay, it's The Bird Song, which Ambi is credited as a writer on, so that's actually almost surprising.
Yeah, but he actually doesn't play at all on The Bird Song.
Fascinating.
Yeah, he's not involved with the vocals or the music of The Bird Song, just the writing.
Well, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, so we have 3 Ambi tracks out of the 9. We have harmonica on 7 out of 9. It's a very Ambi-driven record, although we do get 2 Joey songs towards the end of the record.
Yeah.
And, of course, Stu on, well, everything. Literally everything.
Literally everything, because it's at the end of the day, it's Stu's band. Let's be honest about that.
It is, and I think that's fine. It seems like it's pretty clear that they've got a good thing going with everybody contributes to the sound, and they seem to have some sort of open door policy where anybody can show up to record on any particular song but doesn't have to. It really seems like it's just sort of Stu and Cavs holding down the fort with
Right.
every single song, and everybody else just comes when they want. And Joey Walker comes a lot, and Lukey doesn't.
Nope, I'm not making that joke.
Yeah, I'm okay with having said it the way I did.
Okay.
So early on, Noel, you did say one thing to me after listening to this album. Once or
did I?
twice. You said one thing early on. You said, that is not what I expected this to sound like.
That
So-
makes sense.
So what did you expect it to
Haven't I
sound
said
like?
that about every record so far?
Not every record.
But like the majority of them.
Yeah, but I really want to know specifically with this. What did you expect it to sound like?
I thought it would be a lot more acoustic.
Okay.
I expected it to be a lot more acoustic or a lot more like just an electric guitar going through an old Marshall amp.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting it to be quite so polished and produced, and certainly not so electronic as it gets in the second
written
half.
in tight songs.
I wasn't expecting it to be quite as jammy as it is.
Well, that's because it's not.
Well, I was expecting the Mellotron at this point.
Hell yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
There's some great Mellotron.
They have well established that they love the Mellotron, and I have well established that I am here for it.
Noel is pointing, and you're not going to be able to see that through the radio, through the
No.
podcast app, but I want you to know that Noel is gesticulating about this Mellotron.
Yeah. I mean, Mellotrons are worth gesticulating about.
All right.
And now it's time for Yael's vocabulary corner.
Fuck off. I already defined it. I said pointing.
Yeah, that's fair. Are we ready to dive into the individual songs?
Fine.
Okay, so Fishing for Fishies. It starts off with that fake out drum thing, and then it goes into the first 3 seconds where you're like, okay, we're doing a country record. That's cool. And then the vocals come in and you're like, oh, we're not doing a country record.
But we have kind of country-ish sound, right? We've got a very thumpy bass drum. We've got very twangy guitars.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of nature imagery.
Yeah. It's upbeat. It's light.
Like if I were thinking
really
about
high vocals, though.
Sure. If I were thinking about what genre album is going to be about fishing, I'm going to say country every time. Or maybe bluegrass.
So this is kind of like the theme song to the Andy Griffith Show.
Except it's not, because there's no whistling on this.
There's no whistling, but there is harmonica.
I'm going to go on record right now and say that the lack of whistling on this record is their greatest fuck up so far in their entire career.
No, because all the whistling is just replaced by harmonica, and the harmonica.
You can do both?
The harmonica rips on this album.
You can do both.
The harmonica rips on this album. It's
sure,
so
the
good.
harmonica's great, but I want to see Stu get right up in there and go. That doesn't count as singing. You don't have to take a drink.
But
we did have somebody on Discord this week comment that they listen to our show while cooking, and that they're thinking about doing the drinking game sometime, but they're worried about getting alcohol poisoning because we sing so much.
Hey, if you're cooking with some table wine and you're not swigging the rest of the bottle, then why are you cooking with wine?
Well, for one, table wine isn't necessarily the greatest drinking wine.
Well, you're still going to drink what you don't use. What are you going to do? Leave a half-open bottle of wine?
I mean, I guess you can mix it with like some Celsius powder.
I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be saying something to keep the radio going.
Yeah, there's supposed to be comedy here somehow.
But I'm just... I don't think I can complete a thought because of what Noel just said being horrible.
So the entire time that this song has been stuck in my head, and these songs do get stuck in your head.
Right, because, they're tightly written and not jams.
I hate you. Every time I've gotten this song stuck in my head, you know the lyric, I don't want to be fishing for fish. I just want to let them freely swim.
Yeah.
Every single time in my head, I've gone, I just want to let those fuckers swim. And I think it's a better lyric. I think they should consider changing that one.
It's a very catchy record.
It's a very catchy record.
And I think that Fishing for Fishies was the first one that got stuck in my head. But I've kept track, and all 9 tracks have gotten stuck in my head at least once since we started.
I'm going to say 8 out of 9, with my least favorite having never gotten stuck in my head.
All right, I have a guess.
Yeah.
The Cruel Millennial.
I can't say until we get to it, but it's not Fishing for Fishies.
Fuck you. Making me guess and then postponing the answer.
Yeah, it's called edging. Look it up. It's a classic podcasting technique.
Fuck off.
It's how you keep the audience engaged and make sure that they're going to listen through the whole episode.
It's how you keep your co-host angry.
Yeah. Keeping the co-host angry is an important component of podcasting.
No, it's a fun, bouncy track. We get a cool bass line, a very bouncy, fun bass line from Lukey.
I mean,
I'm sorry, not from Lukey, from Cookie. Lukey only plays bass actually on 1 track.
Is that so?
The Cruel Millennial.
Huh.
Yeah, he's only on 3 tracks on this record. He plays bass on the Cruel Millennial, he plays synths on Cy Boogie, and he does the shaker and some vocals for Plastic Boogie.
Wild.
Yeah, he doesn't record with them nearly as often as you would think. Still more than Eric, but not a ton.
Can you imagine having not written those parts and then being handed those parts and being told, figure it out, fucker?
No.
What's he going to do? Go on Guitar Pro?
Well, actually, yes, I can. And you know why I can imagine that?
Why?
Because we record the Sting every 2 weeks. So
yeah,
we do play parts that we weren't writing.
I will say I am less concerned about the Sting for this week than I was last week.
I'm much more concerned about next week's than I am this one.
Yeah, I think that Rat's Nest might give us something fun to work with. That might be a challenge that we have to figure out.
We'll figure it out. We always have to.
We always have to, and
Sometimes we do it well, and sometimes
you know the one
not.
I'm really worried about?
Petrodragonic?
Mango sticky rice.
Well, maybe by then my synth will be built out better.
Maybe. Not if we keep burning all of our money buying a fucking accordion.
Hey, there was a good deal on that accordion.
Yeah, sure. It was $200 at the pawn shop. You're not going to say no to a $200 accordion at the pawn shop.
Now, every key works, even though one of them is a little funky.
Yeah, and like, of course we need an accordion. I need Giz to record a track with accordion now so that we can justify the purchase. Because if we use it on a track, then we can write it off. Because this is a business, obviously.
Yeah, okay. This is about as good a business as OpenAI, I guess. I mean, we make more profit than they do.
Oh, is that true?
By many millions of dollars, by many tens of millions of dollars, yeah.
I feel like we're just both operating at a significant loss.
Yeah.
We're just losing less than they are.
By a lot. By orders and orders and orders of magnitude.
Per user, though? Yeah, probably. You know what? I take it back. We're better than OpenAI.
We are better than OpenAI. Sam Altman, you're canceled.
Sam Altman, you're canceled. Okay, so now that we've canceled someone, we don't have to cancel Stu this episode, right?
Well, I mean, the thing is we actually canceled Sam Altman.
That's true. Now we need to jokingly cancel someone else.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that we'll get there. There'll be something worth canceling someone over at some point.
Undoubtedly.
I think that lyrically on this song, it's really funny to feel sorry for the Fishies.
Oh?
Yeah, because, like, if you think about the Great Chain of Being, they're, like, way down there, like, below bugs.
I've got a couple of thoughts. One, I don't think that's true in the Great Chain of Being.
No?
Are they? Are they not? I mean, it's
I
not
don't think so.
Why?
Because they live in the water.
So?
That's important.
Is it?
It is.
God, what a dumb ideology.
Also, they don't have feelings.
Do bugs?
I don't know.
What a dumb theology. Also, the whole point of the Great Chain of Being was the idea that idea is dumb.
Sure, yeah. No.
So,
yeah.
like, they're being consistent here.
Sure, but I just think it's funny that then they have the lyric, "Don't do it, you ain't a god," while talking about fishing. Like, as if to say that it would be okay for God to fish.
I suppose that if there is a God, then yeah, it would be all right for God to fish.
And we'll come back to that on Sci Boogie.
God kills things all the time?
Does that make it okay?
I mean, I think according to most theology, yes.
This isn't most theology. This is me asking.
Well, I have no idea what you think. But I've seen you eat fish, so I'm going to go with yes.
Okay, yeah, because we're higher on the chain.
Okay, so bugs are lower than fish on the chain. No, bugs are higher than fish on the chain.
Yes.
Right, okay. So that's why you don't eat bugs.
Not necessarily. I don't eat bugs primarily because I don't want to. Like, I could eat bugs any day I wanted. I just have to go next door.
Yeah, there is a place next to us that serves chapulines, that grasshoppers, and I have not tried them.
I also have not tried them, and I very much suspect that I never will.
I don't think it's very likely.
I am just a little bit too autistic with my food preferences to dare try grasshoppers. As a kid, I would have. As a kid, I absolutely would have. But as an adult, no. I've tried enough things. I know what I like.
Well, but you don't know if you like grasshopper.
I don't need to know that because there are so many other things that I like, such as fish tacos.
But we're not supposed to hurt salmon, carp, or cod, and I'm pretty sure that most fish tacos are cod.
I think that
Maybe
the
a lot of
lyrics
them
of
are
the song.
tilapia.
I think that the lyrics of the song are more explicitly saying, "Don't fish unless you're using them for food."
Yeah, it really is more about hunting for sport than it is about hunting for food. They do very clearly talk about the idea of you're not hungry, so you shouldn't go fishing.
Right.
It's not totally clear to me whether they mean this as, hey, if you're hungry, it's okay to eat fish, or if they mean if you're starving, go grab a fish because like you need to live, but you should be a vegetarian unless it's a survival situation.
Yeah, it's kind of unclear what's going on here, and I don't know if anyone in the band is vegetarian.
Yeah, and I don't really need to know the answer, I'll be honest.
It feels like something that we would have come across, though.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, thinking about salmon being off limits makes me, as a Seattleite, feel sad.
Sure, yeah.
We have really good salmon.
We have really good salmon.
Lyrically, there is one really strange lyric in this song.
Which lyric would that be?
I've let them swum.
Now, I think that's a perfectly fine lyric.
Cromulent, even?
Sure, yeah. Because here's the thing. You gotta maintain the rhymes. You gotta take whatever creative liberties you gotta take to maintain the rhymes and the flow and the structure of the song.
I feel like I feel like you could have reworded that to be remotely grammatical.
I've let them swim just doesn't.
Yeah, but you don't have to change swim. You don't have to change swum to swim. You can change the first part of the sentence.
How would you change it?
I don't know. I'm not the
because
songwriter.
You're not as smart as them.
And it's not the first time that Ambi's said something really weird in his lyrics. I'm looking at you, Billabong Valley.
I'm looking at you, Billabong Valley.
Faster than a stolen gun.
Smoking gun. You're looking for smoking gun. Let's go.
I think he's looking for loaded gun.
Is that so?
Yeah, the original like phrase is faster than a loaded gun.
Oh. Well, I'm wrong too then. Maybe I'm not as smart as Ambi.
Because it's faster if you don't have to load the gun every time you shoot it.
I see.
A smoking gun is like a detective thing.
I think in the video, the Ambi looked really cunty while he was singing.
There is a wild music video for Fishing for Fishies.
It's definitely a Galea production.
It is
like unmistakably.
It is a Jason Galea masterpiece.
It's full of animation. We get the introduction of the little fishies that you see on all the bootleg merch.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of animated fishies, and we've got some cool fish faces.
But it's also got live action Stu on a raft and
on a bamboo raft
and tiny
animated
little,
river.
Yeah, with tiny little Giz members all around him, each doing their own thing.
Yeah, Stu is like 8 times the size of anybody else in the band because everybody else in the band is a fishy. Stu's wearing a black helmet while everybody else in the band is in a white helmet with fishy eyes on the top of their head. And they're all tiny and playing their guitars and their seashell drums, and all of their guitars are covered in
seashells and other detritus.
Right. And there's a seagull.
Ooh, there's a good album title. Seashells and Other Detritus.
And there's a seagull picture, like just a static image of a seagull that like kind of goes bobbing up and down in the animated water. And Stu dives down. It's called art. Stu dives down into the water and picks up a seashell guitar from a fish statue and finds a pearl with Stu himself in it.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure how the internal logic of this music video works.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it's important.
It doesn't matter. We get cunty Ambi rowing the raft with an oar. We get the Gizzy Gator on the bank of the river playing piano. And the bank of the river is yet a third style in addition to now live action and
like 2D animation.
2D animation. Now we also get like a painted background,
which I love.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's adorable. It is such a cute video, and everybody's in these red jumpsuits except for Stu, who's all in yellow with overalls, and it's all very adorable.
You got none of those colors right. No, you did actually.
I fucking hate you. Fucking hate you. I believed you for a split second, but I knew I was right.
Yeah.
And it's just it looks like if you look at the thumbnail for this video, You
Yeah.
think you're about to click into a Wiggles video.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Because the Wiggles have that distinctive, like, primary color jumpsuit thing going on.
Right, and there's too many of them, and they're doing, like, kiddie stuff with animation.
Yeah.
Like, it all feels like it's a Wiggles video.
Yeah. I know nothing about the Wiggles.
Well, they're for kids.
Sure, but it still feels like one of those cultural things I should have a little bit of knowledge of that I just don't.
Yeah, probably.
Can we talk about the first thing you see in the music video?
Yeah.
Stu's feet.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
Is that all you want to talk about?
That's all
Okay.
I wanted to say.
I'm good. We don't need to talk more about that.
We don't need to go in depth about Stu's feet. We're not that kind of show.
No.
But I do feel like it needs to be acknowledged.
If you want that kind of show, I'm going to guess that there's something on AO3.
Have we ever searched AO3 for King Giz content?
I'm not going to. Listener, Noel is definitely looking this up right now, and I do not want to know what he finds, but he is going to tell us.
Oh yeah, there's King Gizzard content on there.
No
I haven't looked
shit.
at what it is, but there is King Gizzard content on there.
Of course there is. There's a reason I haven't looked.
Let's see. There's a story called "A Concert to Die For" that mentions graphic depictions of violence and major character death, featuring King Gizzard the Lizard Wizard, Weezer, Breaking Bad, Ween, Pink Floyd, and the Gilmore Girls.
All right, I'm done with this show. We're just. This is the end of This is the end of Midnights with the Lizard Wizard.
There's nothing else we can do.
That's the content you want, I guess. Go seek it out and enjoy.
This is what they imagined when they created an active, vibrant community of fan creators who are making art based on their work. This is what they had in mind. I am certain of it.
Yeah, that's why they created a band in the first place. They got together specifically so that people would write graphically violent fan fiction.
Yes.
Remind me that we're not in a band anymore. We're not doing a podcast anymore. If you ever want to do anything with me ever again, the answer is no.
That's so fair. We don't ever have to do anything ever again. This is it. This is the end. Just like the Beatles said. Wait, are they the ones with the song "This Is the End"?
My Only Friend to the End? No, that's the Doors. The Beatles do have a song called "The End," but that's not how it goes.
Okay, well, I kind of feel like a bad dude at this point.
Well, yeah, you made a pretty bad dude.
So let's talk about another bad dude.
Boogeyman Sam?
Boogeyman Sam.
All right. First things first.
Yeah.
ACAB. I'm on Boogeyman Sam's side.
ACAB every day. All day, every day.
Yeah. So, Boogeyman Sam, we've got a play here on boogieing and...
Man-samming.
The boogeyman, like the demon.
Oh, that's
from,
where you were
like,
going. Shit.
When you were going to sleep as a kid.
God, I am just not on the same page as you today.
We're just fully in different directions.
We're not really finishing each other's
sandwiches.
Are we allowed to reference that show anymore?
I don't even remember which show I'm referencing.
That's from How I Met Your Mother.
Is it?
It is.
I never saw How I Met Your Mother, so I don't think that's true.
It might also be from Friends, but it's definitely in How I Met Your Mother.
I don't think it's from Friends either. It's from Arrested Development.
And Frozen, apparently.
And that 70s show.
Okay, so it's just like a long-running thing?
Apparently.
Okay, well, I feel less bad then.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it was from...
No,
if it was
Midnight,
originally
you're
from,
uncanceled.
If it was originally from How I Met Your Mother, then I would have picked it up through osmosis from something else. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just been used a bunch of times.
Okay, well that's fine. I'm okay with that then. But Boogeyman Sam, it opens up with what's the word for it? Bluesy harmonica?
And a really roots rock guitar sound.
I don't think I know what roots rock is.
It's this.
Okay. Here's a problem I had with this whole album.
You don't listen to any music like this, so you don't really know how to talk about it?
Yeah. And what's more is if this weren't KGLW, I would never have listened to this, even remotely. Like, if I'd heard any of this except for maybe Akron on its own, I would have bounced off so hard. and never given it a second look. And I'm glad I did, but...
Yeah, I guess that reminds me. We didn't talk about it because we jumped right in with the Planet B stuff, but Noel, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, this is a solid thumbs up.
Yeah. This is a great record with just the most catchy fucking tunes out there.
Yeah.
Like, for the entire first week we were listening to this, I don't think I got a good night's sleep simply because the entire night one or another song was just looping on in my head for hours. I got awful sleep that week.
Yeah, I just spent the entire time going, the beginner's luck is tough. Wait, sorry, that's something
the other
else.
album.
I still got beginner's luck stuck in my head, though.
It's a good song.
It's by far the best song off that record.
It's so good.
Which I know I said that All Is Known is the best song on that record in the last podcast, but I'm taking that back. It's beginner's luck.
Wow, we just can't trust you.
Listen,
You're completely untrustworthy.
Famously, I am my own worst narrator. Nothing that I say can ever be trusted, especially in regards to how I feel about something.
It's so true. It's why I don't believe that you love me. Yeah, you walked right into that one. Noel is completely frozen. Come back. Come back to us.
I like that the 2s and 4s in this song are like doubled with subtle hand claps. I think that's fun.
Yeah, and
But they're not like super dominant hand claps. I want to be clear about that. Like, they are subtle. They're in the background. They are not...
So they're not your dominant hand, so they're your left hand.
Well...
What's the sound of a left hand clapping?
They're not your dominant. They're Wait. There's a funny theory joke there. I just don't know it.
Well, you almost made it, and then you gave up.
They're not dominant. They're augmented.
I think you're confusing dominant with diminished.
Shit. I can't catch a win today.
No, I mean, I was about to let you have it, but then you redoubled your, oh, I'm getting this wrong thing. So if you're going to redouble that, I'm going to tell you how you got it wrong.
I thought that you were spurring me on to finish what I had been saying. I thought that you were saying, oh no, the thing that you were about to say was actually kind of right.
No, I was just moving on.
And so am I. Boogeyman Sam is in...
Drop
D.
Yeah, it's not often that they play in a drop tuning, and
I mean, it's clearly the heaviest song on the record. I mean, this thing is just going and chugging and sludging the entire time.
It's not even in D.
Is it not?
No.
What's it in?
I don't know. It's just not in D.
Okay.
I only know that because I can't recognize the sound of drop D. I know it because I read something that said, hey, this is in drop D, but it's not in D. Stu was just saying that he thinks it makes it easier to play the riff because otherwise it would require a really long stretch. So yeah, it's he plays an unusual part for him.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a dirtier sound than Fishing for Fishies, or compared to, the Bird song, What's Next.
It is a bit of a grimy song, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
you feel like the bad dude, Boogeyman Sam, walking down the street.
I like to think of Boogeyman Sam as the anti-hero that we need, not necessarily the one that we deserve. He shot the policeman, cool, yeah.
I was just going to ask if we could talk through some of the things that he did. So
I
here we go.
think that, since he ate Mama's baby, as long as we think that baby is rich, I'm in favor of eating the rich.
I think that's a fucking stretch.
I mean, no, not really. Like,
do you know any mothers who are rich?
I mean, rich people can have kids. It takes a rich person to have a kid.
These days. There's a new element on the song that we haven't seen before, to my knowledge, which is that we get a harp.
Yeah, and we get harp a couple of times on this record.
You know what's never credited anywhere in the liner notes?
The harp. Yeah.
No idea who played it. No idea where it came from.
There's a lot more harp on this record than you would think, because I was not expecting any? And yet there is plenty.
If you had asked me which Giz album is the first to feature harp, I would have said Phantom Island, and I wouldn't have thought twice.
That would have made sense. But no, it's apparently a boogie record.
Sure.
With harp.
Does boogie as a genre have a long storied tradition of incorporating the harp?
I mean, I'm certainly not the biggest boogie aficionado, but not to my knowledge.
Okay, yeah. I was
I
going to
normally
say,
think
I
of
feel
it
like
as
in a touring boogie band's rig.
I don't normally think they would bring a harp. I normally think of boogie as a piano or guitar driven thing.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think of harp, but you know, I'm not upset by the harp. I think it adds some nice texture. It's never like drawing too much attention.
Yeah. They're never mixing it as like the primary focus point.
And it's bluesy and I mean, normally when I think of blues harp, I think of the harmonica and not
right.
Like a fucking pedal harp.
Right.
Or whatever kind of harp they use here. It might not be a pedal harp for all I know. And there's a mellotron solo that kind of feels out of place at first. Towards the end, there's a mellotron solo.
Sure.
But is pretty awesome. The guitar solo itself it's so good.
It's really stuttery, which I like.
It's
like,
awesome. Big fan.
It feels like there's some real intentionality to the way that the left hand is playing, where it's like releasing notes to mute them really sharply.
Yeah. It feels like it has to be really hard to play.
And yet they did it on a single string, which is also how I like to write guitar solos. But that's more because I'm a bad guitarist. So I really don't know what their excuse is. Anyway.
I was surprised how much I liked this tune because it's just fun.
Like, I've definitely walked down the street just like going to the record shop while just muttering to myself, Boogeyman Sam.
Fill up, jump the boogeyman.
But, like, I'm specifically imagining myself as Boogeyman Sam strolling down the street causing mayhem.
Yeah, and dancing,
I'm
right?
the Boogeyman.
And dancing.
Yeah.
You just gotta dance while you shoot the cops and while you eat the babies.
Right, because dance, as we know, is important to being human.
That's right.
The bird song?
The bird song. We get...
It's ambient stew!
Yeah. And this one it's actually pretty jazzy.
And it's fairly simple.
It's not as simple as you'd think.
So, okay. From my perspective, it felt a lot simpler than I would have thought.
It's stripped down. But that doesn't necessarily make it simple.
Okay.
Because the chords, Noel, are wild.
Are they?
They're so weird.
Tell me more.
Well, I will tell you this. If you go and look up the chord chart, it will probably be wrong.
Okay.
Or at least it won't necessarily be wrong, but it won't really be right either.
I'm looking at a chord chart, and the first chord that they have is
B star.
B in a quartal voicing. I don't know what that means. What's
Pretty
a
much all of
quartal
this
voicing?
Pretty much all of this is chordal voicing. So a chordal voicing, you know how a normal chord is built in thirds?
Yeah.
So with a major...
Oh, is this built in fourths?
Yeah. So a major triad is a major third and a minor third stacked on top of it. A minor triad is a minor third with a major third stacked on top of it. A quartal voicing or a quartal chord, Q-U-A-R-T-A-L, so quarter, like four, it is built on fourths. So it's a fourth stacked on top of a fourth.
Yeah.
And any because there's no... sorry. With a quartal voicing, any note can be the root.
Oh.
Because it's a symmetric chord. So if you invert it, it's still in fourths.
Okay.
And on top of that, there's no third to tell you whether it's major or minor at all. So chordal harmony avoids a traditional sense of tonality and like major or minor for any particular chord. Now, the entire song can still be in a major key or a minor key because of what you're using melodically and what chords you're kind of using as the root. But each individual chord is going to feel a little bit emptier or at least a little bit more ambiguous.
Sure.
And so if you listen closely to the bird song and you listen to any particular moment of it, it won't really have that major bright sound or that minor darker sound. It kind of will just float.
Interesting. So I just want to hear this. So a B, if I were to just play a B, but B quartal is quite different. Which is, it is quite different. It's not nearly as bright.
Yeah, but it's also not as dark as like a B minor.
Right.
And when you have the entire song built on these chords, right, it sounds kind of jazzy because we have a bunch of chords that we're not really familiar with, that we're not used to. And it kind of sounds like what we would get in jazz with a bunch of extensions, with a bunch of these notes that don't necessarily fit into the chord being added on top, or at least
is that like a suspended chord or?
Yeah. So oftentimes what you'll see in quartal voicing is it can be written as a suspended chord.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a lot of like E sus4, B sus4, B6 sus2.
Right. And things like that are essentially just cheats to try to make these voicings look more familiar to somebody who's used to playing our normal ass triads.
Sure.
But like the music theory wise, they don't really behave like those sus chords because they don't resolve in the way that a sus chord would normally resolve.
Sure. And so like if you were actually writing out the music from a theory perspective, you wouldn't call them sus chords at all.
Right.
Okay.
Because a sus chord needs a suspension, right? If you have a sus2 chord, that 2 is going to resolve to the 3.
Sure.
It just like that's sort of what that's what it does. That's what it's there for.
Sure.
So yeah, we don't get that. We don't get those resolutions to these nice sounds, but you're still going to see sus written on the chord sheet because somebody who doesn't spend a lot of time with quartal voicing is going to pick up a guitar and needs to be able to play it.
Right.
So it's a weird song, and it is very stripped down. It's got kind of like a piano lounge style vibe to it.
I wrote down that it kind of reminds me of Sesame Street.
I said Pixar.
Okay, but we're still playing in that same space.
Yeah.
Now,
and I think part of why I said Pixar is because you kind of get the sense in the lyrics that this is like the stereotypical Pixar secret life of blank kinds of tunes, right? Like
sure.
Toy Story, The Secret Life of Toys, or
A Bug's Life, The Secret Life of Bugs.
Exactly. Except here it's The Secret Life of Birds and Clouds. So this song, you know, this one I didn't really love at first, but it grew on me the more I listened to it.
I think the lyrics are so simple that you kind of just feel like you've digested it right away.
But there is more to it than that. And,
there is.
And it just, it's stripped down, but it is nice to listen to.
I mean, it's got tons of cool bass lines. It's got that alt percussion kind of going throughout.
Yeah.
There's a flute part in it. There's a harp part in it.
Honestly, I would say that this gets closer to jazz than a lot of the things that they've tried to pass off as jazz.
Sure. Like this feels like it could be at home as like a B-side off of Sketches.
Yeah, but I like where it is here.
I do too.
I find it interesting that this is one of the ambi tracks, though, because it's also one of the least boogie songs that we have.
And I'm so grateful for that, because if this were an album of all boogie songs, I would tune out so hard so fast. But the fact that they broke it up a little bit makes the album palatable to me.
I get that. And you know how we can tell that this is a more complicated song than it seems like it would be the first time you listen to it?
It's got a lot of really dense patterns.
Well, yeah, that. I was going to go with it took them 4 tries to record it. That they recorded it 4 times, almost got it on 1, 2, and 3, but then ended up using take 4. And they particularly said, Stu said it was a particularly challenging one to get right.
Yeah.
So, you know, you read that and you go, you know, it doesn't sound like this would be as hard as a lot of the stuff that they just get right off the bat.
Yeah.
But no, there's something tricky there.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting how sometimes just the simple songs are the ones that take the longest to get right in the studio.
You can't hide anything.
I mean, look at Lucy Dacus with Thumbs. I mean, it took them forever to figure out how to get Thumbs to work because it's such a bare, minimalist, like stripped down song that no matter what they tried to layer on top of it, they just kept going, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And every time they tried to layer something in, they went, nope, this isn't working. Until eventually they realized, oh, we just can't layer shit in unless it's purely sound design.
Yeah, or how you can tell whether a bar makes good drinks by checking out their old fashioned or their gin and tonic, or a brewery by their lager, because they're not going to be able to hide being bad when the drink is so simple.
Right, you have to have your fundamentals down.
A really, really bitter, super imperial IPA is going to hide any off flavors because you're just going to be so like swimming in hops.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you hear everything, you're going to hear everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't really have much else to say about the Bird song. Like, the lyrics are simple. I don't know if they're actually trying to say much of anything with it.
I think they're just trying to say, hey, like, nature doesn't give a shit about us most of the time.
So fair, though.
Like, birds are going to be birds with or without us. I'm not entirely sure that's even true. I think birds are pretty aware of our existence when we, like, either kill and or feed them.
Yeah, it asks to a bird what's a plane. And like later on in the song, they ask to a cow what's a car. It's a deadly predator. But like, don't birds get sucked up into plane engines fairly frequently? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe there's your deadly predator.
I saw a video recently of a plane hitting a big flock of birds, and that image has been stuck in my head for a while. It's unpleasant.
Oh, just red mist everywhere?
Please don't remind me of it. I'm already thinking about it again.
I haven't seen it.
I don't recommend it. But also, like, is there an epidemic of people running down cows with their cars?
Yeah, it's called the Midwest.
I mean...
And my guess is Australia has a lot of that, too.
I'm glad I haven't seen that.
Cows get out of their enclosures and they wander onto the streets. And you know what doesn't move quickly? Cows.
Yeah. Poor cows.
Poor cows. But also, cows don't move quickly. So why are you hitting them?
They don't move quickly.
Why are you hitting them? If they're not moving quickly, surely that means that you have time to hit your brakes and slow down and avoid hitting them, right? Unless you're driving at an unsafe speed, which you would never do, right?
I think my moo sounded more like a sheep's baa.
It was a little bit, yeah. You might need to go back to those little, like, spinny wheels that they give to toddlers.
Dad, if you're listening, because I know you just found this podcast.
Yeah.
You didn't teach me animal sounds well enough when I was a kid.
Clearly.
Dad, you're canceled.
I'll cut that one out later if you want.
No, I'm good with that. As long as he goes in order so he understands that it's the bit.
I think it'd be really funny if he just listened to the first couple episodes and goes, oh, fuck it, we're going to go straight into Fishing for Fishies. Which, honestly, one of the more palatable records to him, I would imagine.
You know,
I don't really know much about your dad's taste in music besides Broadway.
Well, he does like Broadway a lot.
Who doesn't?
Many, many people.
That's true. That's true. There are a lot of people who don't like Broadway. They're all wrong.
They're all wrong. Although there are a lot of shows that have not aged well.
Sure.
I'm looking at you, Carousel.
Looking at you, Carousel. Looking at you, anything
Shrek
by
the musical.
Andrew Lloyd Webber. Well, those haven't just aged well. They were never good. Although I have heard that Cats the Jellicle Ball is quite good. John Marco Cerezi tweeted earlier today, that he finally saw Cats the Jellicle Ball and has come to the conclusion that Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals are best consumed when they are far from the original vision.
Not a big fan of his.
Not really, no. I still do want to see Phantom at some point. I want to see The Chandelier.
Of course you want to see the chandelier. I do not need to see the chandelier.
If I can rush Phantom and get in for $30, I'm definitely going. Because technically it's going to be a lot of fun.
You just want to see that from your technical theater brain.
Yes.
Not from your I like Broadway brain.
There are so many opportunities in that show to do really cool lighting stuff, and I want to see all of those moments.
Yeah, I maybe if I had your job, I'd be with you.
I want to experience a version of this show that doesn't involve Gerard Butler.
I just don't want to experience a version of the show.
I will go without you.
Okay. So I think that all of this Broadway talk probably means that we should move on to the Plastic Boogie.
Yeah, let's move on to the Plastic Boogie. And my first thought when I listened to the Plastic Boogie was, oh,
this one's
that's
weird.
a boogie.
This one's a little wild.
This one's weird, and it opens up with like a female voice in the background.
Lots of chattering, and like you're on a. It feels like you're at a street party.
Yeah.
Like a block party.
Yeah, but there's a lot of female voices in here, and I was really interested in that. I wanted to know who they were hanging out with in studio.
Yeah.
Who was like contributing to this record.
Well, according to Lukey,
in the Chunky Shrapnel AMA, it's quote all Giz. We love getting in touch with our feminine side.
Yeah. And every member of the band except for Eric and Hantayumi contributed vocals to this song.
You all need to transition.
Every one of you.
Every one of you needs to at least a little. Just tell you what, do like 3 injections.
See how it makes you feel.
Yeah. 3 injections, that's not going to be enough to give you any meaningful tits. It's not going to be enough to cause any like permanent changes. But you know what? Maybe you'll feel your mood change a little bit. Maybe you'll feel a little bit brighter and happier. Like, oh, the world makes more sense to me now. And if that's the case.
The one thing it won't do, though, is actually raise your voice.
That is true.
And that's the one thing.
But they've already proven that they can do that.
It's true.
Like, they don't need to do the voice training.
They don't need to do the
They're
voice
already
training.
there.
That's true. I mean, maybe they'd be perfect fucking
they would be
candidates
perfect women.
for.
They would be perfect women. That's all I'm saying.
So
how the fuck are we an hour in?
Because we are having a grand old time.
Oh, it's just like the Opry all over again.
Hey, we've definitely had recordings where we're an hour in talking about the first song.
Oh yeah, no,
we're making a great pace.
I didn't think I had anything to say about this record.
Other than just, hey, that's fun and catchy.
Like, my entire notes for Plastic Boogie are, oh, that's a boogie. That is bizarre. I don't know how to write notes about this. It's danceable. I love all the background party noise. It's clearly an environmental song about not liking our dependence on plastics. And that's all of my notes.
It's very much all of those things. I love that it's got like call and response, which is not something we hear a lot from them.
And Ambi comes in beautifully on that.
Yeah. And you know what? They also use the word fuck.
Yeah. We don't hear a lot of like harsh swearing from them. So when it does come out.
It's not the first time, but like it feels very much the way that BoJack Horseman uses the word fuck.
Where you hold back and then when you use it, it's really impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt that on this one. It's a little odd. It doesn't feel quite natural almost from Ambi.
Interesting.
But it is like it was notable enough that I wrote it down in my notes. And this was also the first song that they wrote, the first song that they were working on for this album. So they came in early on with this idea of this gang vocal call and response.
God, the gang vocals are so good.
They're so good. And you know what I really want out of this song?
What do you really want out of this song?
I want to hear a clip of just the part, the way we rap it is wrong, used for a condom use public service announcement video.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Like,
I think that would be absolutely perfect.
Advocate moving away from latex condoms into something more sustainable, like sheepskin.
I was just going to say, like, proper condom use. Like,
oh.
Like, no, you're wrong. You absolutely can fit in a normal size condom.
No, you're wrong. You shouldn't be doubling up on condoms to make them more secure.
Right. Shit like that.
Also, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, seriously, don't do that.
If you put on 2 condoms, they're just going to rub against each other and it's going to increase the breakage risk.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do that.
Don't do that. Joey's bass part and the gang vocals make this song awesome.
Oh, so this one is Joey's bass part?
Yeah, this one is Joey's bass part.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the bass is phenomenal.
Yeah. Those are the 2 things that this song is built on.
When you look up this record on Ultimate Guitar, you don't get a whole lot of guitar tabs for it, but you get a shit ton of bass tabs.
Yeah, this album and Gumboot Soup were both just so full of awesome bass parts.
Bassists love King Gizzard at this point.
Yeah, and like they started out with good bass parts, but not necessarily like, oh yeah, this entire record grooves bass parts.
And when you look at some of those bass tabs, they are actually complex and actually hard to play and not intuitive, and they're not doing things that you would immediately go, yes, that is what I would do there. They're interesting and well written,
and they're not overplayed either. They're just groovy
and
complex and cool.
Yeah,
they add to the song.
Yeah,
and they make me feel very incompetent as a bassist.
Well,
except for when I do a successful recording for the show, then I feel great.
Yeah. That's actually been really fun. It's just like the more and more and more that we have to record, the more we're realizing that we can rise to the challenge. And that's been really fulfilling.
It's been very, very helpful to my self-perception as a musician.
Yeah. The fact that we can even do 8 bars of some of these songs is frankly a miracle.
Yeah, they're a good band that plays challenging music.
Yeah. And now we have a song that is about me.
The Cruel Millennial?
Yeah.
Are you cruel? Is that how you see yourself?
I like to view myself as being a little cruel.
You're such a sweetheart, though. You are the least intimidating person.
I'm the mean one on this podcast.
I think we both take our turns.
I'm the mean one on Idle Curiosities.
Well, yeah, but that's an entirely different podcast with an entirely different co-host. Of course you're the mean one around Liz. If you want to hear Liz, check out Noelle's other show, Idle Curiosities, or check out
our episode on Mind Fuzz.
Yeah, check out the I Am in Your Mind Fuzz episode of Midnights with the Lizard Wizard, where Liz came on as our krautrock expert.
Our first ever guest.
That's right.
But The Cruel Millennial is...
It's not that good.
Let's start with what I loved about it, which is that this is continued proof that we are on the harmonica record.
The ambi record.
The ambi record. This is such a strong harmonica record, and that's pretty much...
That's the best thing I can say about this song. The harmonica solo mostly saves it from being a skip.
Yeah. And do you know what the worst part of this song is?
Everything else?
Name-dropping PUBG.
Yeah, that didn't age well.
What a weird little choice.
Yeah, so this is a song about how ambi...
Clearly it should have been Fortnite.
And even by 2019, it was pretty clear that it should have been Fortnite. I guess that just didn't fit the
meter,
the rhyme scheme. It didn't scan. This is a song about Ambi feeling like as he's getting older, he cannot relate to Gen Z. And Ambi was born in 1992, putting him solidly in between Noelle and myself.
And I will say, I have no problems relating to Gen Z. What's wrong with you, Ambi?
I do have problems sometimes relating to Gen Z, but I interact with Gen Z, I think, a little bit more than you do.
I don't know. I interact with Gen Z quite a bit at work.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, but both of us interact with Gen Z at work.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that you might just be a lot more like internet brained.
I am. Yeah, I'm a little bit internet poisoned, and I'm assuming that nobody in this band is quite as internet poisoned as me, because when would they have the fucking time?
Right. And yeah, it's a song about millennials getting older, and so we're the same age, roughly speaking, as Ambi. I'm a year younger. Noelle is 2 years older than Ambi.
Yeah.
And Ambi's the youngest member of the band. They're all around our age. They're ever so slightly older than me.
Yeah.
It's
It's a bad song.
It's not a good song.
It's a bad song.
It's a pretty bad song. It's about...
This is the weakest song that they have offered up since A Journey to Shell.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I will say one of the good things about it, the harmonica solo is really good.
Sure, yeah, no, like the harmonica on the whole record is good. This song is not an exception.
Yeah, and I will also say that if you're not paying close attention to the record, you kind of just don't notice it because you kind of feel like you're skipping straight from Plastic Boogie to Real's Not Real.
Yeah, because there's nothing in the Cruel Millennial that actually sticks with you.
Right, and the harmonica solo's at the end, so it just kind of is leading you into the next song, which doesn't sound similar at all. In fact, The Cruel Millennial is the last song on side A of the vinyl, and Real's Not Real is the first song on side B of the vinyl. So if you're listening on vinyl, then I guess you're not going to have that experience. But, you know, it does kind of skip right by until you listen to it because you have to take notes on it so you can make a podcast about it.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's a bunch of lyrics about, like, the Mandela effect, like Bernstein Bears or Bernstein Bears.
Which is fake shit.
White dog shit.
It's all fake shit. The Mandela effect is not real. It's just not. It's not a real thing. You have convinced yourself that lies are truth, and you have then created this construct that justifies that idea, but none of it's true.
Berenstain is spelled weirdly.
Sure, but it's always been spelled weirdly.
Oh yeah, but I mean nobody's denied that. That's not what the Mandela effect was supposed to be.
When I was a kid, the thing was different. That's what the Mandela effect is.
No, the Mandela effect was supposed to be, I can't remember whether it's this or that.
And nobody else can remember either.
I think you might be thinking about a stronger version of the effect than I've ever
Interesting.
experienced or heard about.
Interesting, because I think of the Mandela effect being like mass psychosis.
I think that it makes sense that a lot of people didn't remember that it's AIN at the end of Berenstain because nothing else is spelled that way.
Sure, but look at the Fruit of the Loom thing.
The Fruit of the Loom thing is different. The Fruit of the Loom thing is dumb. But that's not that's not the primary example of the Mandela effect.
That's like one of the two first things I think of.
The Fruit of the Loom thing, I think, is a separate thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Because, like, the original Mandela effect, the thing that gave it its name is Nelson Mandela alive or dead?
Sure. I'm just saying that for a lot of people, when you look at the Mandela effect, you're trying to say that something is real that's not real.
Anyway, the lyrics to The Cruel Millennial are pretty dumb. But there is one lyric. There is one lyric that I have to call attention to.
Is it, I was born in the echo boom?
No.
Okay.
When he's talking about the white dog shit, he says, on his nature strip.
Oh, yeah, and that's just another word for a tree lawn.
That's right. I'm glad I've infected you.
So a nature strip or a tree lawn or whatever you want to call it is that grass in between the sidewalk and the road, right?
Yeah. And so I like to ask people whenever the idea of like regionalisms in language come up, I like to ask people what they call that strip of grass between the sidewalk and the curb. Because in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, we call that a tree lawn.
Yes.
And it is a very, very local term. I think that specific term does exist in a couple of other really, really specific hyper-local places around the U.S. But most people, when I ask them this question, don't have a word for it at all. I think that's what you said about the way that you grew up as well, right? That there just wasn't a word for it.
Yeah, it's just part of the lawn.
But for me, yeah, that's the tree lawn.
It's where you put your trash cans.
Yeah, my parents would always say, "Oh, take the trash out to the tree lawn." Yeah, and it was really fun for me to see that Ambi has a term for that.
Sure.
It's the wrong term. It's called a tree lawn and not a nature strip. I'm canceling all of Australia now.
Sure.
Or at least Melbourne. I don't know if all of Australia uses the term nature strip, but you know, it's cool that they have a word for it.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
All right, that's the last thing I have to say.
Okay, Real's Not Real.
Real's Not Real.
It's a stew song.
It's a stew song, and it's good.
And my first impression of this song was just, what in the world is going on?
It's darker. It rocks more than the rest of the album so far. Like, it has more of a rock and roll vibe.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more like. I'm not saying that the record isn't guitar driven.
Rock music. Yeah.
I'm not saying that the record isn't guitar driven, but this song is more guitar driven.
Yeah, it's still got that boogie bluesy feel to it. It still fits on the album, unlike the last two tracks, perhaps.
But we'll get there.
But it starts out darker and rockier, and then when the lyrics come in, it does chill back out a little bit.
Yes.
It seems to be a song about environmentalism again. What else is new for this band and this album? And specifically, it's calling out people who stick their heads in the sand and pretend that everything is okay while they live in this false constructed reality. I like to think of it.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's what the song is about. I never figured this out.
Yeah, I like to think of it. You know, they have lyrics about the pretty picture and the painting.
Sure.
And to me, that conjures images of like a Thomas Kincaid painting.
Right. So that pretty picture's looking wrong. If happy is all you want to be, then I can see that the painting ain't painted with love.
Yeah. And so do you know Thomas Kincaid?
Yeah, I'm aware of Thomas Kincaid.
I think of the Thomas Kincaid paintings when I think of this song.
Can you be an American of our age without knowing Thomas Kincaid?
I think it's possible probably to not know it by name, but you've almost certainly seen his work.
Yeah. Like he's like definitional Americana.
Yeah, he is like your stereotypical mid-century America. People move out into the suburbs and buy prints of paintings for their walls. I think at one point, like 30% of all Americans had a Thomas Kincaid in their home.
And then he did a lot of the covers for like, was it the New Yorker or the New York Post or?
Did he?
One of those magazines he did a lot of cover art for.
Did he?
Yes.
Are you thinking of Norman Rockwell?
Fuck me! God damn it!
No, Thomas Kincaid is like the lovely cottage scene that means nothing and is completely commercial. And Thomas Kincaid would have told you, yeah, this is completely commercial. I am doing this to sell art that means nothing.
Wait, really?
Yeah. No, he is largely hated.
So he's just like cynically creating profit.
Yes. And he would have told you the same.
Good for him.
He's not a good guy.
Okay, well, never mind. I take it back. Thomas Kincaid, you're fucking canceled.
And you thought we weren't going to cancel enough people in this episode.
We can cancel more.
Yeah, and so...
I've got at least one more person I'm canceling on this episode. We'll get there, but I've got at least one more.
And so I think, when I think of this song and the constructed reality, the putting your head in the sand, I think of the idea of like these nice, lovely cottage scenes and pretending that you can live in this lovely world that means nothing because it's not actually real.
Okay, the song makes so much more sense to me now. I swear, I pored over these lyrics trying to figure out if there was anything I could talk about in them at all, but they just all seemed non sequitur and nonsense to me. I could not figure out what they were trying to say, even a little.
Well, I'm glad that...
Am I part of the literacy crisis?
Not always.
Yeah.
No, I didn't... I did not get what this song meant the first listen.
No.
It took me a couple of listens, and I got there. There's also a good chance that I got there with help.
Sure.
Because I don't know exactly whether I figured out before or after I started reading about some of these songs and how they were put together.
Sometimes I feel like maybe you should be annotating stuff on Genius and getting those IQ points, because I feel like you have better reads on some of these songs than Genius does.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I have better reads on some of these songs than Genius does. We talked about that during Colleague and Dwanaland.
Go farm some IQ.
No, I don't give a shit about that.
But it's made up internet points. How could you not care?
Because it's made up internet points. We already talked about this during the Cruel Millennial. You're the one that's got the brain rot.
Mm-hmm. And I love my brain rot so much. That's also part of why I have so much literacy problems, is because of the brain rot.
So much literacy problems, yes.
Yeah, so much literacy problems.
Not even intentional.
I swear to God, I'm sideshow bobbing this episode. Every step that I take, it's
Okay.
another rake.
Now that's the most millennial thing you've said yet this episode.
God damn it.
Don't worry. We had brain rot back when we were young too. We just called it YouTube poop.
Yeah.
Or Vine.
I missed YouTube poop completely. I don't know how, but I missed YouTube poop completely.
I did too. I only know about it in retrospect.
This thing?
This thing. We got a Joey song, the first of 2 Joey songs.
And it's Joey Stew, and this was the first song on the album that I listened to, and I heard the lyrics, and I immediately felt an emotion.
Oh.
Like this is the first song on the record that made me feel something.
Because you thought about your divorce.
Well, I just thought about like the ending of friendships and how
Okay.
sad that can be.
Yeah, and it is. So the very first thing that I wrote in my notes here, there's some good chords on this one.
Interesting.
You know me, I like a good chord.
See, my first thought was like, it's got the lyric, this thing we left outside is waterlogged. You're a load-bearing friend, and that is what makes this hard. And the only thing I could think of was, oh, what if one day Liz or Emma or someone and I grow apart, and we have to have this conversation? I have to be like, yeah, you've been really important in my life for a decade and a half, but guess what? It ain't working out anymore. Bye.
Well, one of us has to go ahead and ring it out.
Like, it's so sad.
It is sad. It's really
so sad.
And Joey is understandably coy about describing in any more detail what this is about. And as he should be, right? He doesn't owe us that.
Yeah, it feels like that's a very private thing.
I do have a personal pet theory that it would be silly to actually go into because, again, it's very clearly a private matter.
I mean, Joey has mentioned who it's about.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, it's about the French record producer Busy P.
Okay, I missed that. I just saw that he doesn't say what it's about.
He mentioned it at one of the Phantom Island shows.
Gotcha. Okay, well then my pet theory was wrong.
What was your pet theory?
I'm not going to talk about it.
I want to know.
Okay, well I'll tell you after the show.
Because you can't bear to be wrong on air.
No, because I don't think it's appropriate to talk about that theory on air, especially once I know that it's wrong.
Oh, okay. No, that's okay. You're right. You're right. We don't need to get ourselves canceled. There's a bass tone on this song that is different from the rest of the record in that it's just a little bit grindier.
Yeah.
And it's grittier. And I think that really helps sell the not dissonance, but like the texture of something is going wrong.
This song does one of my favorite things in songwriting, like from a structural songwriting standpoint.
Tell me more.
The first time through that they play the chorus, they don't sing anything. They play an instrumental version of the chorus, and then they play that same instrumental under the chorus later on when they get there.
Interesting.
I love that when you leave a break for where the chorus would be. It's not always the first time through like it is here, but I love the idea of leaving space in a way that before or after gets filled.
Sure.
And I think that whether you notice it or not is affecting in this song.
Okay, I never noticed that.
I think that because you are already familiar with the sound of the chorus,
it means that when it comes back, you're primed for it and it can hit harder.
right, it can hit harder. You're more emotionally ready for the lyric.
And the lyric can stand out more because you're not listening to the music for the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you go the opposite direction, and the opposite direction can also hit really hard, where suddenly you don't have the lyric you were expecting, and now it feels really empty, which isn't what happens here.
Sure.
I know that gets used to good effect on some songs that I really like from other bands. So that stood out to me.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of harp on this song as well.
There's harp all over this record, and this song is no exception.
Yeah. There's also an acoustic guitar.
I was expecting so many more acoustic guitars on this record, so now that we finally get one, I am happy.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming acoustic guitar. It's still mostly an electric song.
Yeah.
I really don't know why you were expecting that much acoustic guitar.
I don't either. I do know why. The cover art.
Okay.
The cover art looks like the cover art for a more acoustic record.
Half of the album art is flames and smoke.
Is that true? That is true. I think I've only ever looked at the center of the album art.
Yeah, but like half of the album art is flames and smoke.
I am learning so much from this episode. I really feel like maybe I haven't done my job this week. Maybe I didn't like dive in deep enough or think hard enough about this stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the problem.
Noelle, you're canceled. Again.
It keeps happening.
Oh, how does anybody listen to this show?
But when we get about 3/4 of the way through the song, do you know what we get that's really cool that stood out to me?
Tell me.
It stood out to me the first time I heard this record, and it stands out to me today. We get really spacey synths.
Oh, they're good, though. They're good.
They're good, and they're spacey, and they feel like the 70s. And it's the first time on this record that you go, wait, are we breaking out of the like boogie rock bluesy thing and doing something that's a little more proggy or
synth driven
and interesting, like texturally, that we wouldn't have gotten normally within the genre?
And yes it is.
And yeah. And so I really loved that. And I thought that was really interesting and a great way to break up the sound of the record so that we aren't just getting a wall of the same thing through the entire record. Now we've got something that sets it apart and makes this song stand out before we obviously go right back into the, generic boogie thing.
and the rest of the album builds from there as it gets progressively weirder.
Oh, so we don't go back to the generic boogie thing.
No.
Do we want to talk
really
about Akron?
Yeah, let's talk about Akron.
It's a Joey Stu song, again. And the first thing I wrote down in my first impressions was one word: synths.
The first thing I wrote was, this one feels a little bit more familiar.
I also wrote down that it feels a little bit more evil.
The opening of this track, I couldn't figure out exactly what it reminded me of from the rest of Giz's discography. I put down a couple of guesses at first. First, I thought, okay, is this like Open Water but not microtonal? Or is this kind of like...
Okay, let's pause on that for a second. I literally made a note. I could see this one having grown out of microtonal sessions.
And then I also wrote, maybe it's part of the, like, maybe it could kind of be like horology, or like part of the Intercell Loyalty Horology suite from Polygon Land. No, it's neither of those.
What is it?
It's wah-wah. I never figured that out on my own.
How did you get there?
I read it.
From where?
KGLW.net. Timeline is wacky.
Tell me more.
The opening of Akron, that synthy arpeggiated opening.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what's played on wah-wah.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that again.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I couldn't place it, but I knew it sounded familiar. Turns out it's wah-wah.
Okay. There's another part of the song. There's like an instrumental bridge that has this ascending section in it that reminds me of another Giz song, but to this day, I can't place what it is. But there's this ascending bum, 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 bum that reminds me of something else.
I mean, anytime that they're going to move chromatically, you're going to, like, that's just chromatic movement.
But it reminds me, like, even the tone of the synth feels like another song. And I can't quite place it.
Yeah. So I try not to think about what this song means.
Okay.
Because I think it's pretty gross.
Yeah, because it's about parasites and
some
bees.
parasitic mites that live inside of honeybees. It's pretty gross. I try not to think about it. I get pretty squeamish about parasite stuff pretty easily.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time that we've had a song from this band about tiny little bugs that burrow into nicer things.
Yeah, and so the word Akron comes from the infestation of Acarapis woodi infesting bees.
Yeah, acarine is the name used for the disease that bees get. It's bad. It's not good.
It's something you can definitely research more on your own, but I don't really want to talk about it in depth.
Yeah, it's another
kinda
environmentalism
gross.
song. It's a song about how all the honeybees are dying and how that's sad.
Yeah.
It's another environmentalism song. I don't want to talk anymore about the lyrics because I get icked out.
So let's instead talk about the vocals,
Yeah.
which are, dare I say it, a little bit haunted.
A little bit. Yeah, this song is kind of dark. Certainly compared to everything else on the entire album.
Yeah, and Genius calls it psychedelic pop,
That feels weird to me.
which I don't know if I fully agree with that. It's darker. It's certainly not boogie rock.
No. It stands out from the rest of the record.
Yeah.
This was the second to last song, or maybe even actually I think it was actually the last song that got stuck in my head.
Interesting.
It took me a while to get this one stuck in my head because I'm tight. It took me a while to get acarine stuck in my head just because the part with lyric
Yeah.
is such a relatively small part of the song.
Yeah.
There just isn't that much vocal on this or on this song, but the part that's there is really distinct from everything else.
So like, I really like the chorus of this song, that buried deep inside of me. Like,
Acarine.
that's so good. And it's so chill and it's mellow and it's cool and it's resigned.
And when it did get stuck in my head, that was exactly the part that did get stuck in my head, of course.
Yeah, it's deep and it's cool and it's impactful, I would say.
And then
it changes.
Something happens.
And
it's a weird track.
We get some synths that come in, and then everything else disappears, and it's all synths, and then it's all synths, and then it's
all synths.
More synths.
Yeah, we get
what, 2 full minutes of synth music?
Yeah, so there's electronic arpeggios that get faster and faster that come in and out of different synth voices.
Yeah.
And they modulate,
I was watching
change, like their timbre changes back and forth throughout. Eventually, we also get added to that some sounds, like some sort of like glass harmonica sounds.
What's a glass harmonica?
You ever see the videos of that instrument with all the giant spinning glass bowls that you touch?
Yeah.
Sounds like that.
Okay.
I don't think they're actually using one of those.
So I was watching the video for How to Gut a Fishy, which is kind of the behind the scenes video for this album.
Right. And I really like that they've been doing that for so many of these different records.
And there was a section where it showed 3 of them all on keyboards at once. Mm-hmm. And all I can figure is that must have been acarine.
It has to be. That or Cyboogie.
Right.
It's only that or Cyboogie. Only one of those two.
Yeah, because like there's so much happening with the synths and it builds so far, and it like eventually there's like a section that's just basically house music. Like this is Joey's fingerprints almost exclusively by the end of the song.
Yeah, and something I read on Get Into Giz, that website, which just gives ideas if
we
you
don't
listen
cite
to
that one often.
Not often. It gives ideas where if you like a particular record, where to go next, or if you like this particular thing, where to go next. And apparently, if you like the synths at the end of Acarine, the Silver Chord is your album.
I am so fucking jazzed for the Silver Chord, and I think we're going to need 3 weeks to do that one. I genuinely do, because they've got the normal version and the extended version, and I don't know how I'm going to digest both of those in only 2 weeks.
We'll figure it out when we get there, and we've got potentially a new Joey synth-driven techno record coming.
What I'm hoping for is that we can get through Chunky Shrapnel in 1 week, so we can get another week ahead of schedule. So when we do get to the Silver Chord, we can actually breathe.
there's no way that any time that we've caught up before then will still be there afterwards.
No, because we're going to Field of Vision in the interim.
And that's going to screw us over.
Oh, it's going to fuck our schedule completely. Speaking of Field of Vision, we ordered some stickers for the podcast that just say Midnights with the Lizard Wizard with both our cover art and an alternate art that we didn't use. And we're going to be handing those out at Field of Vision. So if you see us, if you find us at Field of Vision, ask for a sticker and you may have one for free.
Yeah, and the alternate art might even be better than our normal cover art.
It just didn't work as well in the cropped down version.
But they're both really good. I like them both. It was hard to choose which one to use.
Yeah.
So, yeah, come find us in Colorado this August.
It's going to be so much fun. We're like 104 days away now.
I feel like it's got to be less than that by now.
No, it was 106, I think 2 days ago.
Okay.
I've been following along with the guy in Discord who keeps posting how many days it is, and I've just been waiting for that 100 mark to come.
That'll be a good milestone.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, last track of the album,
Boogie.
Fishing for Fishies.
It opens up with the vocoder.
Yeah, a lot of vocoder. We keep getting more of these electronic sounds, a lot more synths.
When I think of a vocoder, or any sort of like more robotic synth-driven vocal within the context of King Gizzard, I think of one thing and one thing only.
Hantayumi. But the vocoded voice isn't Hantayumi.
Yeah, I know.
We get Hantayumi
later
at the end of the song, not vocoded, because Hantayumi isn't a vocoder voice. It's a text-to-speech voice.
You're right. No, I know you're right. But yeah, we're into Boogie, which is this big electronic synth-driven track.
It is a boogie.
That's just kind of a boogie too.
Also an electronica song.
Like this is a cool merger of genres, as we know King Gizzard loves to do. We get it here in the best way that we see on the whole album.
And this one was one of my big earworms of the record. I know that This Thing for you stood out as the earworm of the record. Fishing for Fishies and Boogie were probably my two earworms of the record.
Okay.
But I mean, like I said, all 9 songs got stuck in my head at one point or another.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be honest with you. On this one, I didn't really register the lyrics until I've been listening for quite a while.
And I'll tell you why.
Why is that?
Because Apple Music doesn't have the lyrics on this one, so you couldn't passively notice them as you were listening.
That's probably it exactly. But the lyrics are basically just describing Boogie, which I don't know. Are Boogie and Hantayumi supposed to be the same character?
I had it in my notes to ask you.
Because I feel like they are.
I also think that the answer is most likely yes, but I do think that I've got reason to doubt. Just not much reason to doubt. Because
it feels like the verses and choruses are Stu describing Hantayumi.
Yes.
While referring to him as Boogie.
That is my sense. And I think that the big smoking gun here, not the loaded gun, not the stolen gun here, but the smoking gun here, is that it describes it describes Boogie as fishing for fishies.
Yes. And if you look into the lyrics of Fishing for Fishies way back at the beginning, you hear Stu say about fishing, don't do it. You ain't a god. And so now we have someone who is actually fishing for fishies, who has previously positioned themselves as a god. So it's okay.
I wasn't even going to go back that far. I was just going to say, hey, take a look at the cover art. Who's fishing?
It's Hantayumi.
At least this does seem to be our first indication that the robot from Robot Stop's music video way back in Nonagon is in fact Hantayumi.
Right. This is the first visual link we have between those two characters.
Right. Although it could be said that in fact we have completely, as a fan base, misunderstood, and that the character in Robot Stop was not Hantayumi, but was in fact Boogie. No, I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's
true at all.
No. I think this is solidly a song about Hantayumi.
I think it is. And of course, we do get what is clearly Hantayumi at the end of the song. Both it is his text-to-speech voice, and also he is credited on the record. He is credited with vocals on this song. Hantayumi does vocals for track 9.
Yeah. As he should be.
Yeah. And so he says, and I'm going to read this all out because it's all reversed. If you have the vinyl, put Cy Boogie on from the very end of the track, reversed on your record player, and at 45 RPM instead of the 33 that the rest of the record plays at, and you will hear Han Taiyumi saying, yes, Homo sapiens have existed for 200,000 years. Yes. Their apex was dance. Yes. They left Africa dancing. Yes. Now the stars watch their silhouettes. Yes. Go forth. Yes. Dance with the devil. Yes. Cy Boogie, yes. Cy Boogie, Cy Boogie, yes. Cy Boogie, yes, yes.
Yeah, and so we have now this mention of dancing and how dancing is this very human thing to do.
Yeah, and
like the apex of humanity is dancing.
What does it mean to be human? It means to dance.
And in verse 3 of the song, Stu sings about Cy Boogie's chorophobia, with chorophobia being a fear of dancing.
Oh, I thought for sure you were going to pass that off to Yael's vocabulary corner.
Oh, I should have. But no, I actually know this one.
Yeah.
Chorophobia is a fear of dancing.
It is. I had to look that one up.
I don't know why I know this one.
Do you have chorophobia? Like, you
no,
dance
not even
all the time.
Yeah. Not even a little.
Yeah, you
I
dance
love dancing.
Constantly. So
now we have this being that has longed for humanity and longed to be a part of something, who is looking at dance and going, this is the apex of humanity, and also I am scared of it.
Yeah. I think it's a neat song.
It's some good character development for sure.
Yeah, it does also, though, double down on the idea that Han Taiyumi is wrong, and he, in fact, can feel things.
He can feel things, notably depression.
He feels a lot of depression.
We get the lyrics. How is it that he is depressed? The humans have pierced through his cheek with a hook. Can you explain to me what that means in this context?
Yeah, he's being fished for.
By humans?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He feels like a fishy.
So he feels trapped.
Yeah, and caught.
And caught by humanity.
Yeah.
Well, all he wants to do is die.
Or be
vomit.
human.
Or be human.
Yeah. Why does he want to vomit and to die? Because that's the most human thing.
Right.
Right.
So now he knows that dance is the most human thing, but he's afraid of it. Right. So he's depressed.
And can he really dance?
The robot is like a famous dance. I feel like he could figure this one out.
So there is something very strange about this music video, though.
It's
So there are a lot of things strange about this music video.
I was going to say, I don't think I can pin down what specifically you're referencing in this moment because there are so many things.
So describe the music video, and then I will tell you what I think is strange.
Stu is dressed up as a synth.
Stu is dressed up as a synth.
And he's still wearing a fucking little helmet.
Yeah, okay, and here is the reason why I do think that there is some doubt that Cy Boogie is Han Taiyumi.
Tell me more.
Because on other posters and on other Giz-related materials, we sometimes see the giant synth that Stu is in this video labeled as Cy Boogie, as a character named Cy Boogie.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That throws a wrench in the works. Anyway, please continue.
I don't know where I was. I don't know how I can continue.
Stu is dressed up as a synth.
Right. Stu is dressed up as a synth and wearing a helmet. And there's it's a very dark music video visually. Like it takes place in a darkened studio. I don't really know how to describe it. I only watched it once and I didn't take notes.
There are synths and TVs all over the room.
It's a lot of close-ups, too, on Stu's face.
Everybody in the band is playing their instruments, mostly synths and vocoder. Well, I don't think they're actually playing vocoders. I think Stu is playing the vocoder. They're all playing their synths, and Cavs is playing the drums. They're all still dressed in their red jumpsuits and white helmets from the Fishing for Fishies video.
Yes.
On the TVs and maybe any, like, oscilloscope close-ups on the synths. We see the fishy face.
Yes.
Or patterns of the fishy faces. And Stu, dressed as a synth, is playing another synth.
Sure, yeah.
And the vocoder. And that's mostly what it is.
Yeah.
Except for Joey sings Hantayumi's part.
Yes, that is true. I noticed this, and I thought it was odd.
I don't really have any comments on it other than weird.
If anybody in the band is going to sing Hantayumi's part, I do want it to be Joey.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's such an obvious choice.
Oh, yeah. And it makes sense. You're not going to just, like, play a text-to-speech thing on the video as just a file on a computer.
I mean, you could and just do, like, text overlaid, but that's not really engaging.
Yeah. And the actual Hantayumi and the Murder of the Universe music video from back in Murder of the Universe wasn't very good, in part because that's what they did.
Right.
And I don't expect them to do the full-ass animation that they did for Robot Stop again.
No, because that cost Jason Galea 2 different tours. Like, he had to skip out on 2 tours in order to do that. That's
right, and then to do
so
that
much
again
work.
without it being the novel thing seems like a waste.
Yeah.
So, but just weird to have Joey doing it. You could have also just had nobody doing it.
Yeah.
There was a moment where you got up and took notes.
Yeah, because there's a clip in the video where you see a double kick pedal attached to the drums.
Oh.
And we watched this video before we watched the Planet B video. And so my first thought when I saw that was, oh, is this hinting at Rat's Nest?
Hell yeah, I didn't notice that. I don't know that I would have been able to notice it.
And then we get the Planet B video, and there's double kick all over that track, and I'm so happy!
I am glad that you're going to get your double kick record.
Oh, I'm so excited. However, before I heard Planet B, before I knew that Rat's Nest is what was coming next, when all I knew was Fishing for Fishies, and I was in the context of this record, the way that this ends is clearly saying our next album is going to be an electronic record.
And it just isn't.
As a matter of fact, in a press release before announcing the release for Fishies of Fishies, the band described Boogie as an addictive taste of what's to come from the band.
Well, I mean,
so
the
of
silver
course,
cord.
Of course, you've got 2 singles now, Boogie and Fishing for Fishies. You're going, okay, there's something coming, and at least it's going to be partially electronic.
And then you get the Planet B video.
And you're left going, what the fuck is even happening?
I don't know. I think that maybe they just meant that Boogie is what's coming next.
I guess. If I didn't know better, I would be solidly convinced that we're getting an electronic record next.
Well, you would have been wrong.
As I so frequently am.
Early versions of Boogie apparently were guitar-driven. Early versions of Acheron were apparently guitar-driven. And they evolved. They just decided to go in a different direction. But they were originally supposed to be guitar songs. And they thought they needed to, go somewhere more. They thought they needed to, do something else. And
I mean,
so
they're a
they went in
guitar-driven
different
band. Up to this point, they're a guitar-driven band. So, of course, it makes sense that you would write everything from a guitar standpoint.
Yeah, they've got 3 guitarists.
And then you get to this, and you're going, okay, maybe we can't do it all guitar-driven. And I feel like that's a seismic shift in the way that they're thinking about their music.
Yeah, I would say that there are several songs on this record that really are not guitar songs. Yeah. This is the least guitar-driven album we've gotten from them.
By far.
You're right. Because we have the harmonica, which is the primary driver of, I think, most of the album.
It's either the harmonica or the bass, yeah.
Right, and we have the synths at the end of the record, and we still have guitar, but we also have piano. Mm-hmm. We have just, really not that, we haven't talked at all, except for Boogeyman Sam, about guitars.
Yeah.
We spent time on one song talking about the guitar.
I think it's really interesting that we're finally beginning to see them break from the idea of what like a 4-piece band should be.
Right, because they have experimented with so many different things.
Right. And when you think of a rock band, you're thinking drums, guitar, bass, vocals, and maybe keys.
Right.
And now they've completely broken through that, where we have songs that just cut out the guitars, and guitars are such an important component of rock music that now you're just kind of stuck going, well, are we even listening to rock music anymore?
And yes,
but it's the least pure rock that we've gotten in a minute, at least since Paper Mache.
It's evolving. It's, we've said it before, we'll say it again. How is this the same band that made insert your favorite very different record? I'm going to go with Murder of the Universe as a very different record, but also this one ties into it with Han Tayumi, as they all seem to.
So overall we've discussed the record.
It's a great record. It gets progressively just weirder.
Do you see yourself revisiting it much?
Yeah, it's catchy. There are definitely tunes that I'm going to want to hear again.
What do you want to see live?
What do I want to see live? Oh,
because I feel like we're definitely going to get some Boogie.
This thing, I'd love to see how Plastic Boogie translates live.
That would be really fun to see.
Because I'm not sure they can do that kind of layered vocal the way that it sounds on the record. I would love to see what they do with that live. Honestly,
I want to see Akron live.
I'd want to see Boogeyman Sam live.
Really?
Yeah, I just think it's a fun song. I just think it's fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that's the thing is most of this album it's just fun.
Yeah, it is a fun record.
It's catchy. It's I
had my doubts the first time I listened.
Yeah.
I did have my doubts.
That. I wasn't sure if it was going to stick with me. I thought at first, hey, these are fun songs that get in my head, but I don't know if I'm going to want to revisit it a ton. But like no, this album gets me moving a little bit. So, Noel, what have you been listening to lately?
Oh, that's such a good question, and I'm glad you asked because I literally just opened Last FM so I can answer that question because I don't know what I've been listening to lately, and I'm hoping that Last FM does. So, let's see. In the last 7 days, my top album was Fishing for Fishies.
I'm shocked.
I think probably the most interesting thing that I listened to this week was a record by the Seattle band No Edits. No Edits is a local rock band that's got like a lot of mathy elements, but vocals that sound like Thrice. So it's kind of directly up my alley. And I found out that they're going to be playing a small venue here in town soon. So I'm going to go see them because I've desperately been wanting to get more plugged in with the local music scene. So I'm going to take a camera. I'm going to go see them. I'm going to shoot some great music, and it's going to be fun.
Hell yeah. I have been listening to the album The Friendly Moss Forest Creatures Lived Happily in Perpetual Twilight.
Yeah, I've seen this one all over the subreddit recently.
By the band Hypnotic Floor. And so I found this from the King Giz subreddit. I shared this album with you and with Emma. It is really fun. It is psychedelic, folk-tinged, krautrocky, progressive rock.
It's Polygon Land, except not.
Yeah, think Polygon Land, but more folk-tinged is what I'd say. And I'm not sure it has the grand narrative that Polygon Land has, but I'm not sure that that's really necessary either.
Sure.
And it's really good.
It's really good. It's such a competent record.
Yeah. I need to check out their other albums because if they're anything like The Friendly Moss Forest Creatures Lived Happily in Perpetual Twilight, then I'm going to like them.
I was struck by this record because like it is very similar to Polygon Land and it's going to draw a lot of comparisons to that record. But like you don't make something that gets compared to Poly unless you're really good at what you're doing.
Yeah, so Hypnotic Floor has opened for King Giz in the past, so it's no surprise that people on the subreddit are keeping tabs on them and that it would be popular among Giz fans. But if you haven't heard about them, check them out.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Next time.
Tell me, are you excited for thrash metal Giz?
You know what? I am. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm excited for thrash metal Giz. I'm not sure if I'm going to love it, but I'm excited for it.
And I know that you're going to give it as much of an honest try as you've given to anything that Giz has done so far. And so far, they've won us over with basically everything they've done.
That's true. It really is true. So next time we will be listening to Infest the Rat's Nest. I've been waiting for this one.
Have a great day.
Cheers.